10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant
Hello everybody and welcome to some more StarLadder. We've got the beginnings of Group B, Team Spirit versus Team Alternate. I'm Llama Down Under. I'm joined by Scancel. How you doing?
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, obviously they've had some shuffles. Now seeing Havost around. Also changed his profile picture, but that is neither here nor there. This one should be interesting. Very much Team Alternate. We're kind of on the rise. Was expecting to be part of that kind of European surge of teams coming up, like Danish Bears, like ATN, and they just didn't hold steady in the results. So that is why they're in this first phase. For those who don't know, StarLadder or StarSeries this season is doing for Europe. There's a group of 4 right now. 2 people make it out of this group into another group of 4, which contains 2 already seeded teams, one of which I believe is No Diggity. Let me grab this for you people. One seeded team is No Diggity, and the other is Empire. So, oh, they moved the brackets. Okay. Yeah, actually, it's going to be one team goes to the other bracket. It looks like they didn't want to potentially have teams all get knocked out, so one team will go to the bracket with Vega, Advenom, and Rebels, and the other team who makes it through will go to the bracket with Empire, No Diggity, and Danish Bears.
Sven stands ready.
Radiant team pick.
Dragon Knight.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix, we've seen Phoenix show up at a bunch of games, obviously on LAN recently. Beastmaster, of course, being one of those other strong ones, but gets banned out here. And Dragon Knight, with the small buffs, it feels like he's gotten a lot more play, can set you up for early push, can just a very hard hero to deal with in mid, with that Breathe Fire. Not too many heroes can deal with the fact that DK makes it so they can't necessarily last hit the way they'd like to, or they have to play really far back. And while I like Team Spirit's draft, this seems to be something that Gold Black draws to them a lot. Get the Sven, a hero Havost is very comfortable on, the Lion, they could follow up with push, they could just follow up with, hey, Sven farms for 20 minutes and then suddenly is huge. It does feel like Phoenix already a good answer to that tanky hero, and DK also someone who can kite the Sven.
Radiant team pick.
Tide Hunter.
Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yeah, I think that the strength heroes are really getting buffed up, and this one really fun to see. We've been seeing a lot of Timbersaw actually in the one position role. Obviously, I think that it's going to be an offlane Timbersaw here, but this is a really nice and funky different draft. Definitely going to be exciting. How can a game with Timbersaw not be? Team Alternate just go with, hey, they're going to be sieging towers. You can't really stop them when Ravage is up, because they can obviously set up on you if you try to engage on that fight, and DK can just pound away at that tower in dragon form. But Skywrath Lion roaming should be an interesting pair.
Lone Druid.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
I should have seen that one coming.
Radiant team ban. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5
Yeah,
seconds
that's definitely
remaining.
an option, right? It's something that we see, and obviously not something that comes up in competitive, but it's very common to see in the pub meta right now, you know, just a very powerful Skywrath zoning at even high levels of MMR, and it's a hero that can really zone out anyone. So you don't, even though it's hard to punish an offlaner because they can always fall back on the jungle with an Iron Talon, if you can make sure that they're forced out of lane, and then maybe you can be free to roam, because there's the threat of you always, powerful. Team Alternate end with the Disruptor. This is some really heavy team fight. I'm a little bit worried about when their ults aren't up, what they're gonna do.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dark Seer.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I think Spirit have to really be worried about, because Sven does need quite a bit of farm to come online. Timbersaw needs heaps of farm to come online. Obviously, at the very least, the Bloodstone, even then, you've still not necessarily solved all of your mana issues. So for Team Spirit, it might be a race against the clock if Alternate play this right. But I do think every time they're repelled at a push, every time it's slowed down, it gets difficult, since Sven can be, as we talked about, just make sure you farm well, you're stacking those ancients, you take them, suddenly you're popping out BKB, Blink, Sand and Yasha, or Omelette, whatever you feel like going. You hit like a truck. Yeah. Well, let's get into it. We're going to be seeing on alternate, for those of you who aren't familiar, L, I like to call him L. Might be also said Leisha, but I call him L. Going out on that Disruptor Supreme on the Dragon Knight. So used to seeing him on Invoker, I'm actually surprised sometimes to see him on a different hero. We've
30
got
seconds to battle.
Castle on Phoenix. Tidehunter is going to be played up by Nisha. Of course, finally on the Lone Druid, Exotic Deer, the hard carry. Should have a blast in that safe lane.
The battle begins.
I'll take that.
Oh, Tide taking a lot of damage in that top lane. It's a Fairy Fire. The auto attack should be enough. There goes the Lost Arcane Bolt. But it doesn't matter. Darkseer dies elsewhere. Oh, I picked the wrong place for the first blood. And we got 2 deaths right there. Both offlaners going down. Obviously going to be a little bit of an advantage to alternate since they did get the first blood. Yeah. Similarly, Darkseer is already over in the jungle. Couldn't even get level 2 in lane. A nice thing for Nisha is that he managed to get that level 2, so does have both the Kraken Shell and the Anchor Smash. But of course, now running into Sonic, who's just being a real pain on that Skywrath, playing it right. Just a troublemaker. Nisha trying to make sure the rune, he will get a bounty rune, so that's something. I'm already halfway to level 3. While in mid, I can hear the Timbersaw trying to be a pain to the DK, but the Breathe Fire seems to be doing good work. And I'm assuming that Scant has not pushed his push to talk or is dead. Things happen. Oh yes, Scant has died. My apologies, everyone. It appears that he's dropped. He'll be back shortly, though, hopefully. Either way, let's take a look around. Skywrath denies himself to neutrals, as you guys saw. He was pretty low after that, and before level 4, generally, or even level 4, it's faster to get the free trip home, as long as you buy out, of course. While Tide just going to try to contest some of these creeps, does manage to hit level 3. So is the Darkseer, even despite having to fall back pretty far. We didn't check in too much on the mid lane, but even though Timbersaw was taking heavy harassment, it's about even, and of course Supreme just has to Bottle Crow here. There's no options around it. So, well, Supreme and Timbersaw both come out of this lane with a lot of farm. I think the big difference here, of course, is that Timbersaw needs so much farm before he can really play and be super scary, and so perhaps Dragon Knight will use the amount of farm he gets from this mid lane more effectively. So. Okay, we got a Sunray coming out on the mid lane. Looks like Timbersaw will be going down, and that'll be that. Phoenix doing a really good job of rotating around. And we will see if they can find some more. Phoenix going for the rune contest. Okay, gonna get a nice little deny on the invis rune. Actually, the Skywrath is very low. They're trying to get the follow-up. DK trying to come in, but it won't be enough. And the Sunray brings the Phoenix down below 200 health. That'll be that. Scant is restarting his PC as we speak, so hopefully he'll be back with us soon. Meanwhile, Disruptor on the bottom lane manages to pick up the bounty. Both of those, well, apart from one being denied, going the way of Alternate. Obviously, things pretty even. We're seeing both hard carries having a good time here. And we will be seeing the Boast go for the Stormbolt. Lion gonna throw up the stun. It's hard to kill a Tidehunter, especially with that Anchor Smash, so it's just gonna be a little bit of harass going their way. The Boast saving up a lot of gold, probably gonna build... Well, it's a Boast. He probably wants to get an omelet. So, we'll see exactly what he decides to go into there. But for now, getting a good amount of farm. Similarly, of course, in the bottom lane, we're going to see an early Midas out on Exotic Deer. Pretty standard when you have... Oh, okay. Kill off Iceberg in the mid lane. You've got a lot of damage going out on Disruptor, but is going to make it out alive. And Tidehunter forced back again. But obviously, the Lone Druid in the safe lane, you can get way more out of the lane. Be it from the Midas or else. Super early Midas is what I'd be expecting there, along with the super early Radiance. Meanwhile, Doxia has managed to hit level 5. Tidehunter approaching that, getting close. DK, they're trying to give it a go onto him. The Chakram and the Silence will come out, but DK is so tanky. Just 2 points in that Dragon's Blood. Also had 11 1 charges. Raindrops as well. Iceberg throws out the Chakram. They're trying to beat each other to this rune. It looks like Iceberg will be getting it. Skywrath trying to harass the Phoenix while he can. The Fiery Spirits do come out onto Funnick. Disruptor is here, but there's the Silence. Disruptor's just going to follow up the Thunder Strike. Might be enough. One more tick of it, and it will go. Skywrath will go down. Well, Timbersaw trying to find something, anything he can to Supreme. But meanwhile, it is going to be sitting 4-1. Sitting pretty for Alternate. Tidehunter getting some support coming in on the top lane. They do have the Glimpse at the ready. Phoenix coming in as well. Just going to use that Sunray. The Glimpse backwards. Goldblack going for the TP. It may be enough. He will get out. What a play from Goldblack. Picking up the TP, knowing that without the Glimpse, they have no other ways to disable him because Tidehunter is not level 6. So a nice, smooth play there. With that, they'll manage to stop Alternate from getting themselves another kill. So Scant, you back in the game yet? You having a look around?
Dire's middle tower.
He'll be in a second.
Attack.
Just all the kills all over the map. No, just Alternate, you know, they're up a couple kills. They're a little ahead when it comes to gold, but of course Havost is farming up a storm as we expected. Exotic Deer does have the Midas finished already, but that's to be expected on the safe lane Lone Druid. He gets the root proc. Will they just be able to auto attack Funnick down? Yes, they will. The bear takes heavy damage, and they glimpse the Doxia home, so he's gonna have to walk out to base. Alternate are just having a blast with the roaming Disruptor and roaming Phoenix.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Instead, Phoenix will throw out a Sunray. Havo's going to be able to stop it with a Stormbolt, so he should be fine, able to walk away. Interestingly, obviously, Havost is still farming fine, but for Team Spirit, do you think you're waiting on, obviously, the mech for the Doxia? Do you want to blink as well, so that you can set up more big Stormbolts for Havost to just jump in? Do you just try to hold out? Well, we'll see. There's going to be a glimpse backwards, trying to give it a go onto the Skywrath again. Funnick, this will be his 4th death if they catch him. Neutral creeps even coming in to give him a hand, but Funnick does not go down. That'll be something. Well, Havost has dominated the Cobalt Boldman. Okay, well that's a life choice. But either way, he's getting his stack on, so obviously we're going to be seeing that coming in soon.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It is the speed aura creep. I always forget about those little fun passives. He's just using it to stack. We'll see whether it comes in later. So, oh wait, Ice Ghost opening up on the bottom lane. Not sure he'll be able to catch Exotic Gear being so tanky. Pulse is there towards him, looking for a route. There's going to be the glimpse back as well. Havost even coming down here. This rotation for Team Spirit not panning out. And I see that you're back in the game.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I did not catch how early he got it, but obviously I'm going to assume after the boots, but he may have even gotten it before, as you mentioned. It's so cheap. It's such a move speed buff. Oh, he's trying. We'll see. Oh, the finger comes out. Gold Black having hit that level 6, showing it off, obviously with the Skywrath moving around so much. Gold Black able to get level 6, but they're going for it. There's going to be a Sun Ray. Havost getting very low, will go down here. They do have the Ravage at the ready. They pop it just for Pistol. This is a hard kill to get, but not with the Dragon Tail to lock him in place. Doxia drops the wall so they don't continue on. But they do manage to kill off Havost's dominated creep.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Exotic Deer has gotten a number of entangles that have led to kills already in his lane, and of course this is going to be helping Alternate out. They're pulling to over 3,000 gold ahead. It is a best of 3, but you got to be worried if you're Team Spirit, right? As you said, maybe haven't had the best of the results, had some roster shuffles, want to just make the best of it. Oh my goodness. But at the same time, it doesn't seem to do much. Cancer taking a lot of damage there. Iceberg is still not dead. Cancer is back into this. There's going to be the Savage Roar to disable the TP onto Funnick. He should be brought down, but they're still working on the Timbersaw. They managed to pick him off, and now Funnick, oh, he's got 11 health. They find him with the Breathe Fire. And it's 9-2. Alternate are dominating.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, I think it does. Obviously, there's a glimpse backwards coming out. There's a nice kinetic field on Ghost Stick. He's just going to use the TP away, and this should be an easy escape. Ghost coming in just in case. He's got the Echo Saber and the Helm of the Dominator up, so the Ghost does hit for quite a bit, especially in that gold strength. Oh, it looks like we've got a Ravage coming up. There's going to be the Hex onto Nisha. He needs to find someone to glimpse backwards. They won't even need the Ravage here. They just pick off Lion. Havost, look at this. Just farming right next door. They'll take his stack, though. Obviously, Tidehunter super able to do this as well. Although Team Spirit acting like they don't want to give it up without a fight. But Havost, he would have to run the long way around want to come back into this one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh my goodness, the static storm and the kinetic shield both hit. Ghostic's gonna fall a ravage. It does manage to hit the Skywrath. They will throw the fiery spirits at Phonic, and now Phonic slowed down. Goldbike, a nice stun coming out, but there's the bear on the other side. Can he get an entangle proc that he needs? They should be able to kill off Phonic here. Everybody kind of getting kicked around. Will he get out with the TP? No, the breathe fire brings him down.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's very, very difficult, and it does feel like they need a lot more backup from the Darkseer. You want to fight not only with the mech, okay, in the middle lane, Iceberg, going to just Timber Chain away, but you want to fight not only with the mech it feels here, but also... Okay, into the Static Storm. They are not letting Iceberg have a chance to escape, and...
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, what a nice play coming out from Alternate. Now they're probably going to realize that there's a ward there, but as you said, Iceberg thought he was on and out with the Timber Chain.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think part of the problem, as we were saying, you need a blink on the Lion, you need a blink on the Darkseer, it feels like, to set up combos for Havost. Havost, of course, does have his blink, so now he can follow up, but they will be waiting a little bit. Team Spirit quickly losing tier 2s as well, right? There's a next one that might be going down for them.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah. Also, scarily, both Exotic Deer and the DK very farmed. Looks like poor Supreme having some more bugs, but he he has the full armor and the Sergeant Yasha. No hero though. I actually really enjoy that one where it's just like a guy in Under Armour, like punching things. Yeah. Yeah. Because as well, the way the sword looks when you see it without the sword in his hand, it looks like punching. So it's like you'll see him, you know, punch one of the centaurs in the face or something. Very comical. Well, okay, looks like Supreme is back in action, and as you said, they just melted that top tower. Bear's already got a Radiance. The bear is called Misty Sarin. I hope that's not something rude. And here comes the high ground. If nobody comes back to stop them...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Oh, the Static Storm does not connect onto anyone, so that's another big ult down in favor of Team Spirit. We'll see if they want to find a jump point here. Habost is nowhere nearby. He does have a TP. No, he's TPing back right now. Gonna be coming in. The tower already down, and now Supreme gonna work on that melee rack. There's a glimpse back on the Timbersaw. Habost jumps in off that wall string. Look at everyone melt, but immediately the Ravage comes out. The Supernova as well, and Iceberg. Habost in a lot of trouble. Forced to run away. They do manage to kill off the Dragon Knight, but they're all incredibly low, covered in fire spirits, and the bear still just working on the racks. Habost looking like he's gonna go down to the Sun Ray from the Phoenix, and a new bear is resummoned. They are working on the racks. Buyback forced out of Habost, but they've gotten the melee. So ultimately, no reason to stay, and with the racks broken 18 minutes in, it's not looking like Habost will find anything with that buyback.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It is a difficult one for Team Spirit to get out of. Over 10,000 net worth behind. They're looking for the pickoff on the Disruptor. They will be able to get it, but now Habost has to be careful. The bear coming after him. A nice use of the Centaur to make sure he can get away from the Radiance and be able to blink out if he needs. So at least that's something. That one kill on the Disruptor, gonna be about a 700 gold swing.
Gold for me.
Yeah, it's not looking... Oof. Looks like instead Lion will be the one to tank, and the gank realizes the whole team is there. There is no escape. Goldblack does have the blink up though, so he will die, but had already purchased up a blink. So that's, as we say, it's something. And
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
yeah, it's hard. Habost needs to find something to kill to get the gold back. He is TPing home already on his way. Sells some stuff, picks up the BKB. Iceberg being initiated on Static Storm, drops right on top of his head, and the Sun Ring will bring him down. He'll be back up soon because of that Bloodstone, but there it is. There's a vacuum back. They needed the Ravage comes up, but it's too late. Habost has BKB, and he has cleaved through all of them. Only the Sun, the Phoenix, and the Tide are still alive, and that is the BKB they needed. That is the jump in, the vacuum, the Stormhammer. They'll clean up the Phoenix as well. One more hit here, and only Tidehunter survives. A huge gold swing going to be headed Team Spirit's way.
Double damage.
For alternate, as you said, lots and lots of options. It feels, oh, miss the Phoenix getting picked off. And now, did they immediately... They have Sven getting a kill on the Phoenix while the rest of them smoke up behind. I fear that they won't find anything with their smoke since Sven did get the pick off on the Phoenix in the jungle. But if they can transfer this into Roche, any sort of time buying that they can find on Spirit will do wonders.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Oh, but now they might have a pick on Havost. He gets glimpsed backwards. He does, of course, have the BKB. Tidehunter up there at the ready. Supreme coming in, wants to get in range of doing something, but doesn't seem to be able to. Imbecile pops the haste to come in and fight, throws out the Chakram. Tidehunter getting a little bit low. Still has about 2,000 of health, but then they go back on 2. Oh, they're picking off Exotic Fear, but there is the ult. It doesn't matter. Havost has BKB. Ravage comes on through. Sunray manages to be dropped. Havost tries to pick away at it, but instead, unable to do anything, realizes that he will not be able to destroy the Supernova. He is jumping forward, but his BKB has run out. The bear poking away at him. The Sunray now going over onto Funny. Havost getting very low, does take out the bear. Dragon Knight trying to 1v1 him, but having a lot of trouble. But the God Strength is about to wear out. A new bear is resummoned. Havost will fall. That's the Aegis going down there. We've got TPs coming back in on the docks here. He does have a blink vacuum. Maybe he can do something here. Havost glimpse back with BKB still on cooldown. There's the vacuum they were looking for. Stormbolt hits onto 2, but the kinetic field completely sorting them out. Lion's gonna go down. They do manage to take the Tidehunter, but all in all, the Aegis has been burnt, and alternate, it feels like, in a good position again. BKB getting lower and lower. Oh gosh, what is L doing? Just going ham on Iceberg. They see him though, as you said. Can they make it in range? No, they can't.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah. Now that Havost also has the Chrysalis up, it's going to get harder. One nice Vacuum Stormbolt combo, and that could spell the end. His BKB is down to 8 seconds, but I don't think that's low enough for Alternate to feel incredibly comfortable. And even though they do still have a mighty lead, they have to be careful, because it's now, with how big the Sven is, your towers get pushed pretty fast too. Well, Alternate just continue to split push using the bear to apply pressure to that bottom tower. It does force Team Spirit back. I believe Team Spirit, they have a smoke, and they were grouped up before a little bit as if they'd like to use it, but of course they have a lot of pressure coming in top lane. They've lost both racks up there. And actually getting some good dewarding done right now. Funnick making sure that Alternate do not have vision constantly of them. Yeah, I mean they have other ways of getting damage out. Timber also has a lot of pure and magical damage. Obviously you can dodge a lot of that with the BKB, but it does feel like for alternate part of the problem may be that their initiation relies on the disruptor, who of course has to glimpse people back, and without the blink on the DK, it's not as if they have a lot of their own initiation. In a similar way that Team Spirit does. And for a lot of these fights, as we pointed out, kind of whoever blinks first is the winner. Also, Havost is at the stage where he can take care of this bear. It's really tanky. Where are you right now, Mr. Bear? Yeah, I've lost the bear, but the bear's about. There it is. Very tanky. It does have the AC, but you still have to be careful because Havost has crits. Havost hits pretty fast, especially with the Echo Saber buffing him up. The bear may get brought down pretty quickly if Havost gets some lucky crits. They're not gonna catch it. Gold Black is playing around here as well, but a lot of Team Spirit grouped up. The bear trying to find someone to Radiant Spur. Looks like they may just push up in middle.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, they have to do something about this. The DK plus the bear will just melt through these, as we're seeing. About 2 more hits, and we will see the racks go down. There's the jump in. They managed to get it. The Ravage goes up into 1. Havost is standing there taking it with his BKB, but unfortunately he doesn't have that much backup. Now Havost taking more damage here. He will go down, it looks like. Supernova right on the front lines, but Gold Black on attack. He's been fire-spirited, and that will be another set of racks. Buyback coming out of Havost, but again, it'll put him further behind. And alternate want nothing to do with this. Havost may have bought back, but they're backing up, going to a different lane, handily taking that team fight.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Phoenix also getting close to that Shiva's. This Phoenix, I just want to say, we always... Obviously, Phoenix is someone we've seen have huge impact across tournaments recently, and it's no surprise that the hero's doing well here, but this Phoenix, 6-3 and 13, has a Midas, has a ridiculous amount of farm. It just feels like if this hero gets off to a good start as the support role Phoenix, how do you stop that? I think it's very difficult. We've seen the Phoenix actually be the response to these tanky lineups, right? Since the Sunray is health percentage based, and for Spirit, there's just not an easy thing. I was expecting the Timbersaw, who did get some decent amounts of farm, to have more of an impact, but now sitting 5th, 6th on the net worth chart. That's even worse than I expected. He was ahead of the Tide a little while ago. Just, there's not much to do. You're running a 6 Bloodstone charges and a BKB. Your damage just isn't there. They had even CS. They had even CS, like you mentioned that you thought would happen. They had even CS. They were trading a good amount of harassment, but of course, then their disruption, the disruptor and the Phoenix rotations really helped catch the Timbersaw out because, of course, glimpse is a powerful thing. Yeah. Now, for Team Spirit, as you mentioned, first of all, this is a double elimination format for each group stage. So even if they get knocked out here, Team Spirit will be just knocked down to the lower bracket. They're not out of the tournament. Obviously, it's also a best of 3. They have a chance to strike back in the next 2. But I have to say, I really like, as you said, Alternates draft, and they've been playing very solidly, other than the one team fight up here. Can I not? I can draw. It shows up on the map. Let's see. Okay. I'll be an adult again. But basically, other than the one team fight in the mid lane, it feels like Alternate have been playing fairly cautiously, generally pretty well. Obviously, a couple of heroes getting picked off, delaying pushes, but other than that, it seems like a game with very few mistakes from them, which is really impressive considering that they are considered the underdog in this matchup. Yeah, it's very difficult to figure out exactly what's going on there. Did they also just miss? They see this ward, and unfortunately, well, their sentry won't get dewarded. Actually, if the bear goes up there, he can, yep, just immediately knock down their ward, so good stuff there. But I think it's difficult as well for teams like Spirit. Obviously, I expect that they have been scrimming, but sometimes it's easier to find tournaments to play in against teams of your own caliber or higher when you're a team like Ultimate. There are lots of smaller leagues. Spirit might not feel as maybe as worth their time, so could just lead to more games played. Just forced off the way, gets out a little bit, but now in a little trouble. Immediately the Sonic Storm dropped on top of them. Ice Person pops that BKB, and Ice vacuum on the backline, but the Volt wasn't there. He has walked away to get out of trouble. The Sun Egg, the Supernova is popped, and all of them on Team Spirit realize they have to run away. They cannot. Oh, okay, the Rabbit hits on it too. Iceberg getting low. Both as well falling. He does have BKB if he respawns, but of course his buyback's on cooldown. And GG's are cold. We'll be headed to the next game.
Radiant victory.
Really well played there from Alternate, a relatively clean game.